Good morning, everybody. I'm Ed Parcaut, and I'm going through the wrong mic, so let's fix.
Let's do it again. Good morning, everybody. I'm Ed Parcaut here with Mike Kelly, Real Estate Jerky Daily. Thanks for being here. We really appreciate you. And
I appreciate you guys too.
Today is Thursday, Rotary Day, and this will be the last time we're late for Rotary because of actually we're not, because Mike's
you're not president anymore, and neither am I.
Yeah, and I'm not anything. I'm just a past president, and you're immediate past president.
Yeah, this is cool. No more directors meetings for you. You get to relax a little bit.
I'm taking 3 months off. You won't see me for 3 months after the kickout.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm done.
You're gonna be that drunk?
No, I'm just gonna not worry about Thursdays.
Sure.
Going to the board meeting, going to the meeting.
I get it.
You know, for the you're president-elect, so you're go to all the meetings and the board meetings, and then you're president, you run all the meetings, and then your immediate past president, you still go to all the board meetings, and you got the president in, and usually the president-elect, so you feel like you have to be at the meetings, and now I don't feel that way.
Good. Yeah, it was interesting being president-elect and sergeant arms at the same time. You know, I don't think I even find you.
I don't know. Did you?
Yeah, no.
I don't know. It's your own fault.
Yeah, it is.
All right. What do you got today? You got anything?
No. Well, I got little tiny stuff if you want to talk about it.
Well, I have some tiny stuff too. But you go first.
Why don't you go first?
Okay, let's go. Today is initial jobless claims and GDP. So initial jobless claims,
gross domestic product.
Yeah, the first quarter, another read of it.
Okay.
You know, they look at it first.
It's interesting how many times they read that.
Well, they want to see if it changes.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like when the bombs hit, they're like, there could be no damage, or could be a lot of damage.
Yep.
But everybody goes, there's no damage. CNN and whatever, and everything's underground.
Just don't go underground.
It's all underground.
Yeah.
Dumbasses.
Yeah.
All right.
They prefer
Dumas's asses. Initial claims fell 236,000, down 10,000 from last week, which beat expectations. So that means less people went on unemployment.
Yeah.
However, continuing claims increased to 1.974 million, hinting at, again, a longer job search. Once you become unemployment, it takes a long time to find a job.
Mm-hmm.
So don't get unemployed if you can. That's like one of my new clients. I didn't know this, but they got laid off from their job in March while we're talking, and they didn't tell me this, and they took another job. But that new job is a contract worker for this company. So this company they work for is out of Canada, and they pay all their people in the United States as contract. And I was like, okay, well, you're no longer an employee, because she kept saying, I'm an employee, blah, blah, blah. I go, no, you're no longer an employee. You're like the landscaper who comes and does the outside work for the building.
Right.
And I think she finally got it when I said it that way. But basically I said, the problem is you need to do at least a year, really 2 years, in order to be that way. Yes, she has a contract, but the contract says each one of them can cancel within 15 days.
Right.
So that's not really a good thing.
Yeah. Banks don't like that. Lenders don't like that.
No, they want consistency. So luckily her husband is getting a better job when they're moving and making more money, and they just have to pay off a credit card. No big deal.
Cool.
All right. So now we get back to a final quarter of first GDP. They showed a deeper decline of negative 5% down from the prior estimate of a negative 2%.
Okay.
That's a huge sharp drop compared to fourth quarter of a plus 0.24.
Ooh.
So basically our durable good orders went down. That just means the GDP went down, and that's basically what happened.
Yeah.
Overall, and everybody's like, well, you know, it's had nothing to do with really tariffs at that time. Tariffs a little bit later. What else we had? Pending home sales climbed 1.8% in May, beating forecast of a 3% decline. What were you pointing at?
That's what I had up here. So that's good.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Watch. It's gone.
Okay. Housing construction is stalling.
Yeah.
According to, we talked about this yesterday a little bit about new home sales are down. Somebody out there is saying housing construction is dead under the current rate conditions. New home sales badly missed estimates, and prior months were revised down. Builders' profit margins are tightening, and permits and starts are now are now at recession levels.
Gotcha.
Despite flat sales data. Builder confidence is collapsing. Builder sentiment is near COVID era lows, especially among smaller builders. Many had hoped rates would fall by now, but mortgage rates are still around 7%. I'm not stating the rate. I'm just reading something else.
Mm-hmm.
The caution flags about this: completed homes for sales are now at 119,000, a historical critical threshold for builders. Typically pull back when they have that many houses sitting there ready to go. Unstarted homes hit a record of 117,000, meaning builders are waiting for better rate conditions before breaking ground.
Gotcha.
So this is not a good thing right now for new home builders. That's
Nope.
why you can get an amazing deal if somebody had built a house and they walked away from it, because they can't. A lot of people cancel their contracts.
Yep. So you walk in, take over, boom, 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 and get some good stuff.
So bottom line, builders are sitting on future projects, but won't move forward unless the mortgage rates dip towards 6%. If 6% is a no-go, then expect less construction going out there is basically what they're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I had for that information. The other stuff I had was the Federal Reserve has proposed a rollback of capital requirements that could unlock billions by lowering reserve thresholds, which would give banks more room to lend. The proposed rule would lower capital requirements to a range of 3.5% to 4.5% from the 5%. And this is from Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. He believes that this proposal enacted would see tens of basis points in benefits to Treasury yields. 10, so like nothing, hardly anything.
Yeah. The other day you were talking and you were thinking that
July 15th?
you've got July 15th in your head.
Yep.
And, reiterate that, what you're thinking July 15th is going to withhold.
Well, I'm thinking that the whole
not withhold, but hold
the war with not Ukraine, but the other war, Israel and Iran was going to be over, which it is. It was a 10-day war, and now they're still in a ceasefire.
Right.
The tariff stuff, a lot of the tariff stuff will come out and say we have these plans in place, and we're going forward. There's 7 countries. The big ones.
Yep.
And once they have those, and then everybody's like, oh, look at the tariffs.
Yeah.
And then the big, beautiful, or the big, small, beautiful, whatever that bill is, will be done by then. That's what I was thinking. And that's why I'm thinking it was going to get better. It could be July 30th, but I'm just thinking we got 4th of July next week, which, by the way, we're not here Thursday, Friday, because it's 4th of July week.
Right.
And I have something else going on that Thursday, Friday.
What?
So we'll be here from Monday to Wednesday next week, and then we'll figure it out the following week. You'll know when we show up.
Cool. Yeah, when we're here.
I'll tell you why after.
Okay, cool.
So that's what I was just thinking. So, but I could be wrong, but I have a feeling that's where it's going to be. Just like when everybody was saying, "Oh, we're going to wait till September to get better," and we kept saying, "Don't wait till September. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse," and everybody waited, and it got worse.
It got worse. There were a few people who were lucky enough to refi before the 18th, and then
you were gone.
You're gone.
It sounds like yeehaw.
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 Further real estate news. Massive ship carrying 3,000 cars sinks in the international waters. Ooh.
That was one of my cars.
Yeah, that's the one you ordered.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't get it now.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Speaking of that, go on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Everybody's selling everything.
Yeah.
I mean, things like cars, and they're giving discounts. People are hurting out there. They're selling all that stuff they bought during the pandemic when they had all that money. You can see that people are really hurting.
Yep. Hi,
Jennifer.
Hey, Jen, what's going on?
All right. Look, were you going to say something?
No, you stole my thunder, and I tried to look for something else.
Thunder.
Well, in Bakersfield, it's interesting that the KGET TV says that the housing market in Bakersfield has continued to show an increase in supply, demand and prices through supply, demand and prices through the month of May, according to a new report. Bakersfield's housing market in April saw a 3.3% increase in demand and a 7.1 increase in supply.
Break it down for me, because the numbers are throwing me off.
Yeah, while the increase in demand has slowed compared to 6.6 in April, the rate of increase of supply has gone up almost 3%. And then they talk about a median house price of $900,170. So prices are still high, 120% higher than last year.
120. Oh,
that's what. Yeah. Year over year.
Yeah, whatever.
So
here's the thing: is Bakersfield is so close to LA. I mean, it's over the grapevine.
It's a hop, skip, and a jump.
So people who had lost their house could go to Bakersfield and live there, and commute until their house was done. That's a little far, but it's still a couple. They're used to a couple hours on the road anyway.
Well, and with so many people still working from home, it's not that big of a deal.
Right. Well, I was talking to somebody about that, and they're thinking in the future that more people are gonna not be in cities anymore, and more people are gonna be out in rural areas. A lot of the people who have money are looking for land to be away from people, and that what they don't understand is when they buy that land to be away from people, you're just closer to more assholes.
It's true.
Because that's what I found out.
It is true.
That's exactly what I found out.
Okay, and then CAR says that May's statewide median home price was $900,170, just like the KGET. I wonder where they got their news from.
I don't know. KGET
Could have been here.
Yeah. It looks like the House is trying to revive the National Coal Council.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they're going to start giving it to kids, put in their stockings when they're really bad during Christmas.
Yeah, I used to get that.
There's a huge article on Housing Wire about is Zillow a monopoly? Lawyers are weighing in on the Compass lawsuit.
Oh,
and Zillow I don't think is a monopoly. Google is a monopoly, but Zillow I don't think Zillow is yet, because there is other companies.
Well, you still you have Redfin, you have all the other little companies.
Redfin's owned by
Zillow.
No, Redfin's owned by the R1, the mortgage company that then also has a real estate company.
Oh
too.
yeah,
that one. I'm not going to say, they don't
Blast
pay us,
off.
so I'm not going to say the name. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on out there. Bottom line is a lot of noise. Ignore the noise. Do what you have to do.
Yeah.
If people are moving and buying houses, no matter what time it's happening, it's just a lot less than what normally people have to think about why they're doing it. And that's what you have to do. You have to go through that process with them to help them understand why they're doing it and why now is the time to do it instead of waiting.
Yeah. But there aren't very many better examples of that, not listening to the noise and just moving forward and selling lots of houses than Jennifer Stasio. She kicks ass all the time. She doesn't pay attention to all that BS that's out there, and just provides amazing assistance and closes escrows. I'm proud of her.
Oh, there you go.
There I go.
Oh, I got a podcast today at 7:45.
I have one this morning at 8:30.
No, it's
7:45 p.m.
PM. Yeah, they must be over in Bangladesh or
something like that.
Yeah,
you're gonna be able to understand them.
Yeah, there's been some real funny ones with this. Anyway, we'll talk offline so I don't get in trouble.
There we go.
All right, that's pretty much all I had for today. Again, thanks for everybody listening to us. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll have the California numbers for you, and we'll have some other news.
Yes, we will.
All right, make it a great day, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Mike, thanks for being here.
Ed, thanks for having me, and peace out, brothers and sisters.
All right, bye.